Restoring the skin's firmness, lifting it, and creating a contour is really a desired request for most of the clients that come in to visit me in clinic. My name is Chantal Ward, and I'm a registered nurse. I'm here to give you all the information that you need so that you can make sound decisions for yourself in your anti-aging journey. So let's understand why we lose firmness, or we lose this lifting effect of our skin, or the contour, right? That nice chiseled jawline without this floppy gobble neck. So one of the key factors is the loss of collagen. Collagen makes up a huge portion of our skin. The collagen in our skin provides the support, the plumpness, and the elasticity. After the age of 25, our collagen decreases by 1% every year. So if you do the math, you're 25 and you're now 55, you've lost a lot of collagen. So let's understand a little bit more why it's important to try to prevent this loss as much as possible, or nourish our skin. The other thing that causes our skin to lose its firmness and elasticity and contour and that beautiful youthful appearance is the loss of hyaluronic acid, or moisture. So things like salty food, drinking alcohol, smoking, these things will have a dramatic effect of the collagen that we have in our skin. Remember, we're losing 1% per year, but if we throw these other environmental factors, or we throw these extrinsic factors in, we are going to continue to dramatically age if we don't try to stop it. Changes in the fat distribution. As we've gone through this before with Taylor, you can see that, she had some great fat pads in her temple, mid-cheek, just right in front of her ear, around her mouth. These fat pads are really instrumental in holding our skin up, or holding the drapes up, and making sure that we don't have that downward descent, or these marionette lines, or these nasolabial folds, or these, dramatic changes in that fluidness of our skin. Okay, so we lose our fat pads, weakening layers of the tissue itself. So we've got bone structure, we've got muscle, we've got ligaments, we've got subcutaneous fat, then we have the layers of the skin. So as those ligament layers in our bone structure changes, that too helps hold our skin up so that we have that perfect contour. All right. Now, genetics is genetics. You're dealt the hand you're dealt. But if you can actually continue to protect your skin, prevent sun damage, nourish your skin, all of these things, which we'll get into a little later, it will just basically stop the clock a little bit better than not doing anything at all. My favorite saying is that everything that we do in clinic is that we're trying to have this beautiful hot air balloon. If you can envision being in Sedona or somewhere in Arizona or a desert island, and you're on a hot air balloon and you're just gently kind of making your way back to the ground, as opposed to a crash landing. So what we're doing in clinic or prevention is really trying to create that soft hot air balloon landing of our aged or aging skin. Okay. External factors play a huge role in how our skin looks, feels, elasticity, tone, even our fat pads. These external factors, such as UV sunlight or UVA, UVB, have a dramatic effect on our collagen and elastin at a cellular level. There's a special light or a camera, it's a Woods lamp. If you ever go to a drugstore or a pharmacy and they're doing a skin cancer prevention month, go under that lamp. Go and see how much sun damage you have below the surface of the skin. It is going to scare you. So, we can't go back in time, but let's start now to prevent, protect, and treat. UV radiation actually breaks down the collagen, but more important, it actually breaks down the elastin. The elastin is what gives us that elasticity, that bounce back to the skin. So you know when you grab bubble gum and you're chewing it and you pull it and it doesn't flap back? Well, if you lose your elastin, when we pull the skin, it's just going to fall down on the table. So the elastin is going to give it that bounce back. Smoking reduces the oxygen. I don't know if you've ever, if you've had a consultation for cosmetic surgery or if you've done anything cosmetic. If you're a smoker, most surgeons will not treat you or do that surgical procedure, especially a facelift, if you're a smoker. Because every time you light up, you're diminishing the oxygen supply to the skin. Well, that's important. You need oxygen. You need that hydration. You need that healthy environment to have the most amazing skin. I'm not shaming smokers, but just so you know that people who smoke and drink lots of alcohol and have a lot of sun damage, you can actually see the textural changes going on with their tissue. There is hope. I've worked with a lot of people that have been sun worshipers. They've lived in the islands or close to the equator. We've done numerous things and their skin today looks amazing. How to address this laxity? So laxity, firmness, the loss of volume, there's so many things that we can do, but let's talk about laxity. Home care is going to be as important as when you come into clinic and visit myself or any of my peers in the industry for treatments. I'm going to give you a couple examples of products that I use to protect my skin. First of all, I am a big believer of a retinol. What a retinol is, I have one here from SkinCeuticals. It's at 0.5. It's called Refining Night Cream at 0.05 pure retinol. What retinol does is it actually helps the skin exfoliate and have a cell turnover. Now, if you do it too aggressively, when I go in, I go big. So the first time I did this, I did it every night. I looked like I jammed my face in a frosted donut box and my face was constantly peeling. The recommendation is to have a good retinol that is 0.5 or a 1%, which is a prescription, and you would start it in like every 3 to 4 nights. And then once your skin gets used to it, you go to every third night or every second night or every night. You really need to titrate up or allow your skin to get used to this cell turnover. Okay, so getting on a retinol is probably going to be your easiest number one thing. The next product that I love a lot is the vitamin CE Ferulic. This is an incredible antioxidant that has so much clinical data. I mean, peer-reviewed clinical data that shows that not only will the vitamin C antioxidant protect the outer layer of my skin, it will actually go through or travel through the top layer of the epidermis and attach itself at a cellular level to protect me over a longer period of time. A vitamin C should be a part of your skincare regime every day. Obviously, getting on a hyaluronic acid or a really good moisturizer. And every day, doesn't matter if you work from home or if you are, it's dark and you live somewhere where there's no sunlight for only 2 hours a day, you still need a good SPF. A UVA and a UVB that is going to protect you both at an external level and a cellular level. You should never leave your bathroom in the morning without applying your SPF. That's easy. Those are easy things that can help prevent additional sun damage or cellular damage and actually improve your overall texture, tone, and firmness. There are so many things that we can do in office. So you're going to have your homework, you're going to do skincare, you're going to protect your skin, and then you're going to come into clinic. Well, to restore firmness and elasticity, there are so many devices that we can look at. We could look at a high frequency ultrasound or a microfocused ultrasound, and what that does is it stimulates collagen below the surface of the skin, and it's usually a once-a-year treatment, and it's actually approved for lifting. Everybody knows that I'm a big lover of all therapy, but there are other devices on the market as well. There's HIFU, there's soft waves. You just do your homework. A high frequency ultrasound or microfocused ultrasound will be your friend, especially if you've got that mild to moderate laxity. Radio frequency. So if you're young and you're looking at a prevention, RF or radio frequency technology, whether it's just RF or radio frequency with microneedling, so they're both the same, right? RF or radio frequency. So it can be a device that does bulk heating, or you can have a radio frequency device that is attached to a microneedling technology that creates a mechanical injury on the surface of the skin and then dumps that thermal injury below. And then it stimulates a wound healing cascade that starts that contraction and rebuilding of collagen and elastin. So let me help you understand a little more about these different technologies. You have to trust your aesthetic provider that they're going to do a great consultation with you so that you understand how it's going to benefit you, what are the expectations of your results, but also, what are the potential risks that are associated with these technologies. These are energy-based devices, and there's always a risk. But what we try to do is match the right person, the right skin with the right technology. Deep tissue penetration, or a traditional technology like an ultrasound that allows me to target that deep SMAS or that deep ligament to cause that contraction, is going to be your best device for lifting the skin or giving you that, lifting that jowl up. I know people have commented that, a surgical blade is your only choice. Well, I tend to disagree because I think some people are not willing to go under the scalpel. They're not willing, or they're not healthy enough to go under general anesthetic, or they just want to have a prevention and go as non-invasive as possible. The benefits of these technologies is that we can get to the SMAS. We can get that thermal energy down to get that lift. And that's why Health Canada and the FDA have given it the thumbs up that it is approved for lifting. These devices, whether it's radio frequency or ultrasound, they've all been approved. So, you need to really kind of embrace that your medical aesthetic provider is going to do the right thing for you. They will definitely improve laxity. They'll definitely improve the overall collagen structure and the tone. Not everybody is an ideal candidate, but, in my practice, that mild to moderate laxity is a perfect candidate. Now, if you've got severe laxity and you definitely don't want to go under a surgical option, we then have a very candid discussion about what are realistic results or what are realistic expectations in your journey. Having worked with high frequency or microfocused ultrasound since 2011, my first introduction to the technology was very different than what I actually do today. There's been advancements from the manufacturer, there's been advancements in science. I understand that technology a lot more. So the more experience that I have because of my past, I have been able to get some incredible results with these technologies. This is my experience, and there's a lot of great providers that are out in the marketplace. You just need to do your homework and really understand what it is that you're looking for and who can help you with that. One of the key things, and I've seen this online, there's been a lot of discussion about all therapy being the most painful procedure that they've ever had, or that it ruins their face, that they've lost fat. Well, I've probably done over 2,000 cases since 2011, and I have not seen one person that has had that issue. Now, the first couple treatments that I had, yes, I didn't understand my ultrasound, so it was a lot more sensitive for my clients. I laugh because some providers will give all kinds of narcotics and drugs, and in my practice, because of my experience and because I've really mastered the art of delivering this energy, my clients don't need to take any medication. If they really want something, they can take some Advil or Tylenol, but that's it. All right. But I'm not prescribing. My medical director is not prescribing. We're doing nothing. It's really up to the person that's behind that technology that will make it a different experience. The results with any kind of device, whether it's radio frequency or ultrasound, it depends on which technology. So you may need to do a series of treatments. It might be once a year, but the results really are part technology, and then the rest is how you look after yourself. So good serum, good skincare, protecting your skin, good lifestyle, you're not smoking, you're really kind of embracing this anti-aging journey. In conclusion, treating lax skin or skin on the jowls, elasticity issues, firmness, contour, it's not just one thing that we're going to do. We're going to actually assess you. Is it volume loss? Is it structural loss? Do you need more collagen? Do you need a little bit more of an invasive approach? Do you need a non-invasive approach? I have no problem telling my clients that I think it's time for surgery. Or if you were considering surgery, now's the time to maybe go for a consultation. Addressing volume loss, elasticity, firmness, it's a multifaceted approach. It's a combination therapy approach. You have to do your homework, and then we have to do ours. So I would like to thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. If you have more questions or comments, please put them in the comments section below. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video.